and welcome. I am John Nazar, principal at Half Moon Bay High School. I'm currently in my 6th year in this position. I'm extremely proud of what our students and teachers have accomplished over the past number of years. I can tell you with the utmost sincerity that I care tremendously about this institution. Even though I know many of you, however, for those who I don't yet, I live in Half Moon Bay. I taught and coached at this school for 6 years in the late 1990s. My 2 children are graduates of this school. I was the assistant principal at Cunha for 9 years, from 2001 to 2010. And then after 5 years as principal in San Carlos, I was able to return home. This is my 36th year as a teacher and administrator, and this is truly what I have dedicated my life to. Very obviously, this has been the most unusual openings of school we have ever experienced, and hopefully something that we'll never have to experience again. Many of the traditional experiences and events have been completely changed due to the pandemic. However, despite all the challenges we are faced with, we have been resilient, thoughtful, and dedicated to continue to give valuable lessons to our students. We are working hard to find ways to help students feel connected to the school and to support those that are feeling disconnected or discouraged. I've been inspired by the dedication of our teachers and their ability and willingness to adapt to remote teaching and learning, and I have been seeing incredible progress since the spring semester. I can proudly tell you that our teachers have worked incredibly hard to change almost everything they do normally so they can support our students. And as much as I know this is very difficult for many of our students, I see by looking at their progress reports and the gathering of information from teachers, most of our students are engaged in their learning and doing well academically. Obviously, no one knows when this worldwide health crisis will be resolved. However, we are working diligently and thoughtfully to design plans to safely return cohorts of our students and our teachers to the campus. We are currently exploring outdoor learning and teaching areas and designing routes for safely moving students from location to location on campus. We are consistently conferring with the county health authorities and keeping in close communication with our neighboring school districts. We were fortunate to already have in place a technology plan where every one of our students was provided with a Chromebook to support their learning. The district is also continuing to work to make internet access as widespread and as accessible as possible to all students. What I ask of you as a parent or guardian or community member is to be supportive, caring, and have a sense of patience. We know that not everything is perfect. However, we're working really hard to find and fix areas of weakness and consistently improve our instruction and connection with students. So many of you have reached out with positive feedback or feedback that is helpful. Thank you. We greatly appreciate the kindness so many of you have displayed, and we need this more than ever. We need to be role models for our young people, and when we show caring, patience, and kindness, that is the exact model for raising a well-adjusted young community member. Students are watching not only what we say, but how we behave. When they see us all working together to solve problems, they will greatly benefit from that. Please continue to do this. You are making a great contribution to their growth. Despite the challenges we're facing, we're continue to strive toward our vision toward the future. We have 4 pillars in which we focus on during our planning. Provide an outstanding education for every student attending Half Moon Bay High School. What this means is we will continue to develop programs, courses, and pathways that will challenge our top students to reach their goals and allow them to pursue their passions. That we have powerful educational programs to allow every student attending the school to be extremely well prepared for college or other pursuits upon graduation. And develop the support and resources to meet the needs of our students who are currently struggling so they are prepared to pursue their dreams as well. Number 2 is to focus on creating a 21st century learning environment that inspires our students and best prepares them for the next steps of their lives. As all of us are aware, communication, access to information, and truly the entire landscape of learning has radically changed over the past few years. We are in the earliest stages of developing a plan to modernize the school using the bond money we currently have so that our classrooms can meet the learning needs of our students and allow teachers to access the latest technology to enhance instruction. Thirdly, we are here to create a true sense of community and commitment to our school, a place where every student and parent feels included, listened to, and respected, where there is a sense of stability, continuity, and familiarity, to provide a niche for every student, whether it's athletics, arts, clubs, or service to our community, a place where every student can continue to grow socially and intellectually in a safe, caring environment. And finally, fourth, we teach and value kindness. Of all the values, in my mind, the one of kindness can go the furthest toward developing a society that will truly work together towards greatness. I've said this every year. However, I don't think the importance has changed. Being kind doesn't require a person to be the fastest, the tallest, the smartest, the funniest. It is something that every one of us can do every single day. And if we can achieve this, think how much better our community will be because of it. Finally, we're continuing our other vital work to support our students. Our Open to Any Community Member Health and Wellness Committee is already working on finding ways to support the physical, emotional, and mental health and well-being of our students during this time of crisis. To further academically support our students, we have 2 incredibly dedicated adult volunteers, Jay Thompson, who has a master's degree in computer science, and Leo Locks, who has a PhD in chem. They're currently available every Tuesday and Thursday via Zoom at lunch to tutor students, especially in math and science. This is absolutely free for our students, thanks to their contributions to our students. We continue to offer one of the highest number of advanced placement courses in the Bay Area. We currently offer 18 different AP courses with a total of 23 AP classes provided. We have completely revamped the agriculture program with a true pathway to earning a career and technical education certificate, as well as increasing the rigor in these science-based classes. And please know, our work will continue to move us forward, and with your support, we'll continue to develop the absolutely best environment for every one of our students. Lastly, I want each of you to know that we'll always give everything we have to make this the very best possible place for your student. If you ever have questions, concerns, or just want to connect, please do not hesitate to contact us. I strongly believe that we need to work in partnership to support students. The high school years are full of challenges, growth, and change, especially this year more than any other. They are not the easiest times in a person's development, but we will work with you to help with that transition from teenager to young adulthood. I thank every one of you for watching this. I wish each and every family the very best for this new and exciting school term. Thank you. Now, I'd like to take a couple minutes to recognize the people who most closely work with your students. Our administrative team of assistant principals, Deanna Tower and Andy Boysen, and our teaching staff. For this production, I will introduce the department chairs from each department. Hannah Carney, Agriculture. Sean Reardon, Visual and Performing Arts. John Carey, English. Lane Mullen, English Language Development. Amy Trainer, Mathematics. Dustin Taylor, Physical Education. Joseph Santoni, Science. Pat Olson, Social Studies. Keith Holden, Special Education. Vanessa Stubbs, World Languages. Michael Muramoto, Counseling. I will now turn over the screen to Assistant Principal, Ms. Deanna Tower. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Deanna Tower, Assistant Principal, Pupil Services. Before I get to my agenda, let's look at a fun fact. This past school year, the 2019-2020, marked our 20th anniversary for Mr. Boysen and myself at Half Moon Bay High School. And when we got here in 2000, Mr. Nazar was a social studies teacher. So the three of us have been friends for 20 years, and I can't say how lucky I am to be a part of this team. Okay, going to my agenda, we have our website, and I highly encourage you to check our website often because we update the information as soon as we get it. So you can see our website, we have all kinds of tabs there at the top, and I just want to point out a couple of them, like Parents and Community. When you click on Parents and Community, you're going to see all of our awesome, amazing parent support groups. So Cougar Boosters, ELAC, Friends of Cougars in Concert. I always have to double check that one. Friends of Cougars in Concert. Grad Night, Health and Wellness, PTO, as well as School Site Council. So check that out. Look at their pages. You're going to find out more information about the organization as well as their meetings. And there will be a link to their site if they have a separate site. The other thing, counseling, all kinds of resources on counseling, but I want to look at one thing they did this year, which is amazing, and this is this virtual calming room. In the virtual calming room, this is just a tiny little snapshot of what they do, but you just look at the site, click on whatever you want to click on, whether it's sounds, nature, live animal cameras. It's just a couple minutes to help us be in the moment and just kind of breathe, and it's amazing. So thank you, counseling department, for putting this together. We all check it pretty often. Next up, we have our school messenger. So this is our program that we use to communicate information to you, and that information is goes through your email as well as text. So School Messenger gets that information directly from Infinite Campus. So we want to make sure that your contact info is updated on Infinite Campus. If that ever changes throughout the year, just contact one of us in the front office and we can easily help you change that. And School Messenger has an app. So download that app and it makes it even easier. School Loop, we can also communicate through School Loop, and what they call it is, their email is called Loop Mail. But what we like about School Messenger is we could text through School Messenger. But School Loop's Loop Mail, it's really easy to email teachers and for teachers to email students. And we're going to look at School Loop in just a minute, but I do want to point out progress report. Of course, assignments are on School Loop, but the progress report will give you some great details about grades. So I want to look at the parent portal. You'll register with your student's ID number, and then your portal is going to look just like theirs. So at the top up there, we've got Loop Mail, right? That's their email. The only thing with Loop Mail is you have to be logged into School Loop to be able to reply to an email, because Loop Mail also sends the emails to students through their Gmail account, school Gmail account, but you can't reply through Gmail. You have to reply through School Loop. Down in that blue tab, we have academics. So all the class websites, if you just click on that class, you'll get to their site that'll list, assignments, the locker that has resources, calendar. Next to that, we have our grades. So we have our grades as a letter, percentage, and then it also tells us how many zeros there are, which is hopefully 0. But even more importantly, I think, is that progress report. And you can see assignments under the current assignments as well as under calendar. You can also see some assignments under progress report, but those assignments are the only ones that are graded and published. So beyond just looking at what the general grade is, you want to look at progress reports to see the details. Why is the grade what it is? So there's a list in the yellow box of all the assignments that have been graded and published. And that pink box lists all the zeros. Again, hopefully that's blank, but that's a great piece of information to know, again, why is the grade what it is? What's not on this screenshot is the breakdown of grades, which is important because some classes, the grades determined by total points, while others they're weighted. So you definitely want to see which is which and contact your teacher if you have questions about what that means for your grade. So that was website, school messengers, school loop. I think it's time for another fun fact. Close to 30 Half Moon Bay High School staff members attended Cabrillo Unified School District. Close to 30, which is 35%-ish of our staff at Half Moon Bay High School are alums. So I think that one fact tells you how we love our school, love our community. All right, and then going back to my agenda, we've got technology and materials. So students are allowed to use personal devices at home, or you can check out a Chromebook. If we check out a Chromebook, we want to treat it just like a textbook if we checked out a textbook, which means the students are responsible to do whatever they can to keep that Chromebook in good shape. And then if we do need to replace it, then there's that financial cost there. On registration, you signed a form called the Acceptable Use Policy. This may look familiar. 4 pages. I know we all read all 4 pages before we signed the Acceptable Use Policy. If you would like a refresher though, it is on our website under our school forms and then registration documents. It is actually a good idea to read through that Acceptable Use Policy because it explains some behavioral expectations in regards to technology. And it also lists the financial responsibility if you have a school issued Chromebook and costs for replacement. And then finally, technical issues. If you have any tech issues, if you need any materials, reach out to our library tech, Jill Smith. All of our staff members' emails are last name, first initial, and then at that whole cabrillo.k12.ca.us. We already had a Smith J when Jill Smith joined our staff. So I want to point out her email is actually smithji@cabrillo.k12.ca.us. But you can also email her through our website. If you go under departments and library, you'll see a link to her email. So thanks again for watching. I'm going to hand the screen over to my work twin, Mr. Boyson. Thank you.
Hello, Half Moon Bay High School Cougar community. I'm Andrew Boyson. I'm Assistant Principal of Curriculum and Instruction. And I have a few things I'd like to go over with you as it relates to back to school night. So the things I would like to cover are remote learning basics, expectations for students, Chromebooks, textbooks, materials, and social emotional health. So the first thing I would like to cover, changes since the 4th quarter of 2019-2020. So if you remember, it was after March 13th, we did not return to school, and we did not have a schedule as we have right now. And one of the key things is that we have included synchronous learning and asynchronous learning in a planned schedule. Synchronous learning days are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And asynchronous learning days are a day is on Wednesday. So the key difference here is that we have a clear schedule. We have times of the days in which students are supposed to show up for Google Meets or our Zoom meetings and attend those meetings as they normally would in the classroom. It's virtual, it's remote, but it's where we are at right now. and it's the best we can do. So with synchronous learning, we have it's live active learning with your teachers in real time. Examples are whole class discussion, lectures, small group activities, slideshows, end of class or school day assignments, postings, exit tickets, those types of things. And then asynchronous learning is that independent learning devoted to ongoing assignments, homework, small group and individual projects, slideshows, videos, and other learning applications. Okay, so asynchronous, you're on your own, but you do have something that your teachers will require of you to hand in before 3:30 in the afternoon for attendance purposes. So it's very important that you keep on top of what they ask you to do by the end of the school day. Okay. Other changes since the fourth quarter of 2019-2020 is synchronous period expectations. So again, these are things that are required of our students, that you need to join Zoom or Google Meets meetings on time and conduct yourself appropriately so teachers can make the most of the 50-minute class periods. Now, your normal block period would be over 90 minutes, and 50 minutes is quite a reduction. So it's very important that you show up on time, that you're ready to learn, and the teacher can really get the most out of that 50 minutes. So what that means is you should be joining a meeting 5 minutes before the beginning of the period, and all the periods begin at the top of the hour. So on Monday, it's 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, on Tuesday, you got 9, 10, 11. And then you have 50 minutes of class, and you have 10 minutes before your next class period. Okay. So that's going to vary on the schedule that you have. Some of you have 7 classes, some of you have 6 classes, some seniors have 5 classes. But again, attendance will be taken during each class period. That's key. If you don't log in, your teacher could mark you absent. So your teacher will communicate his or her expectations regarding what it means to be present. And it is essential you follow his or her directions so you're not accidentally marked absent. Okay. So if whatever prompting your teacher gives you in terms of showing yourself to be present throughout the class period, please follow the teacher's direction. The changes for this school year. Now, if you remember, our governing board at Cabrillo Unified School District last spring, fourth quarter, passed policy, which meant that students could get anywhere from an A+ to a D-, that nobody would be failing. We did that in large part because of this brand new remote learning. And we felt that because of the uncertainty of it, and that the teachers were not prepared to deliver that and had to really sort of rise up and address the situation as it was. And we felt it wasn't really appropriate to allow some students to fail, particularly those students who might not have access to the devices or to a reliable internet connection. And so that was the policy at the end of last school year, the 2019-2020 school year. But the 2020-2021 school year, we are reverting back to our traditional grading scale, which is an A through F scale. Okay, I want to make sure we are really have clear understanding about this. Now, if students get Fs, that means they have to retake those courses if they count toward graduation. So I want to make sure that we all go into this school year with a clear understanding of the consequences of not passing classes. Now, due dates and late work, those are up to departments and teachers. As site administrators, Mr. Nazar, Ms. Tower, me, we've all tried to impress upon our teachers that they be considerate of the circumstances that we're in. But that said, be sure you understand your teacher's late work policies and to communicate with them if you're uncertain about what they are. It's very important that you advocate, your parent or your guardian advocate, to make sure you're absolutely clear when it comes to what late work policies are, when due dates are, those types of things, because many of your due dates are going to be digital postings, if not everything. And so it's really important you understand the ground rules for success. Keys to successful remote learning. Okay, so the most important thing that I want to try to impress upon students and families is that they be proactive and take responsibility for their education. Granted, it is our job at Half Moon Bay High School to provide curriculum and provide instruction of that curriculum. However, in this case, because we don't see you every day, you can't just walk in and see a teacher or walk into the front office and talk to me or talk to a counselor, talk to Ms. Tower, Mr. Nazar. It's really important that you get out front if there's any concerns, any questions, anything that you're not understanding correctly from your teachers. Okay, so please reach out to your teachers, your counselors, site administrators, community liaison, and librarian. These people are really a part of a team to help make you successful. Now with teachers, okay, it's important that you access assignments through the online services. School Loop is our main warehouse. It's our main distribution point. All teachers should be posting Zoom links and their assignments through School Loop. Now granted, some of them use Google Classroom because that's a nice service to post your assignments and also for you to post your work, and also Turnitin.com. Science department uses Styles, and then other departments use other web-based instructional tools. It could be Edpuzzle, it could be Quizlet, it could be Pear Deck, it could be Padlet, it could be a number of third-party applications, which they're not doing it to confuse you, but given the fact that we're in remote learning and we're using a digital system to deliver curriculum and instruction, they're trying their best to use the best tools available for them. Our community liaison, Ana Carrillo. If your family needs translation, please reach out to her or reach out to your counselor, or please reach out to Ms. Tower or me. And we'll do what we can to try to set up a meeting so that your families, your parents, your guardians know exactly what's going on and have the information they need to support you as well. Our librarian, Ms. Smith, and Ms. Tower has provided her email in an earlier slide sequence. Her library hours from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 Monday through Friday. Work with our librarian regarding textbook, Chromebook concerns, okay? We've got Chromebook problems, you go and see her and she'll address those with you, okay? And lastly, please seek out site administrators, Mr. Nazar, Ms. Tower, me, Mr. Boyson, and your counselors if you have connectivity problems or other issues of concern. Out on the coast side, some people live in rural areas and they don't get the best connectivity. And please, if you don't have that connectivity, it's getting in the way of you accessing your education. That's the thing that we need to know about so we can help you as best we can. Lastly, social emotional health. Okay, this is a very stressful and difficult time for everybody, and not just at school, but life in general. So please reach out to your counselors regarding your social emotional health. All three counselors are well trained with supporting students' wellness. I have complete confidence in their abilities. This is very difficult and stressful time for everyone, so we encourage you to take care of yourself and let us support you when you need it. Please reach out to your teachers, counselors, site administrators, so we can provide you what you need to be healthy and well. Counseling services can be given through schooling services if you're not already using other counseling services. So I know it's kind of wordy, but if you're already seeing a counselor or having therapy through some other individual or agency, please continue with that as you need. But for those of you who don't have that type of access, we have schooling services. Please ask your counselor. They'll help you. And next up.
Hello, and welcome to the Back to School Night presentation for the Counseling Department. My name is Michael Maramoto, and I'm one of 3 counselors here at Half Moon Bay High School. Working with me is Gabriella Lomeli and Brittany Jolivet. As you can see, each of our caseloads are divided by student's last name. My caseload are for students with last names starting with A through GL. Ms. Lomeli's caseload are for students with last names starting with GM through NI, and Ms. Jolivet's caseload, NJ through Z. Also on this slide, you can find our contact information. We have our email addresses here, along with our direct phone line. Our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. As a counseling department, we offer 3 different kinds of counseling: academics, college and career, and social and emotional counseling. So maybe you have a student who is having a hard time in some of his classes, or maybe you have a student who's ready to start exploring their college and career options, or maybe you have a student who's just having a really bad day and they need somebody to talk to. These are all very good reasons for why they can make an appointment with a counselor. When students are talking with their counselor, counselors do practice confidentiality. So whatever is discussed between the student and counselor stays between the student and counselor. But there are a few exceptions to that. Is the student harming themselves? Is the student harming someone else? Is the student being harmed by someone? If any of those three apply, then we do have to break confidentiality to protect our students and protect whoever else is being harmed. We will be having several PLPs, personal learning plans, and workshops throughout your student's high school career. Personal learning plans will be grade level specific. We'll be reviewing graduation requirements, reviewing A through G requirements for the CSE and UCs. We'll also give students a chance to explore their college and career options, and we'll be doing that through a program called Naviance. Naviance, there's career interest profilers and college math surveys. Also, Naviance is a big organizational tool for students to organize which colleges they're interested in. Also, for the counselors and teachers, we use Naviance to submit transcripts, school profiles, letters of recommendations, and other important documents for the private and independent universities. Workshops. For seniors, we offer college application workshops. So if a senior is working on their application and they're not quite sure what the application is asking for, they can ask us on some guidance on how to fill out the application, or maybe if they're working on the college essays and they need some feedback about what they're writing about. This is a great opportunity for students to just drop by and or maybe if they just need a place to work on their application, the college application workshop is a good place for them to drop by and work on their applications. Financial aid workshops. In early December, we will be holding one financial aid workshop to walk parents and students question by question on how to guide them through filling out their FAFSA application for financial aid. And of course, mental health workshops. Mental health is a growing need among young people, especially high school students. So we understand that, and we want to be able to give high school students the tools that they need to tackle whatever mental health issues that they're going through, and also to give them the tools to help themselves in the future for any mental health problems that they're going through. Course selection. In early spring, we'll be handing out the course request forms so students can pick and choose which classes they want to take for next year. We'll be giving some students tips on which classes they'll be needing, especially when it comes to graduation and for the A through G requirements. Chain of communication. So we really want students to reach out to the teachers for any academic issues that they're having. Does that mean they can't come to their counselor? No, it does not mean that. Students and parents should always feel free to contact their counselor for any questions that they have. So maybe a student is having an academic problem. What counselors will do is that we'll open up school to see where exactly what is the student exactly struggling with, and then we'll devise a plan from there. But then we will still ask the student to reach out to the teacher for some additional help when we start narrowing down where students can get the most improvements in their classes. If for some reason that doesn't clear things up, then we do encourage parents to schedule a meeting with the teacher so that the student, parent, and teacher can have a conference to kind of talk through and different ways that the student can be supported. Also after that, student and parent can have a meeting with the counselor for any additional support. And of course, if for some reason meeting with the teacher and counselor still isn't improving the student's academic performance, the student, parent, counselor, teacher, and administrator can have one big meeting. We can get all the issues right out there on the table to try to address the best way to support your students. There are some things we want you to consider during remote learning. Students should check their email often. If your student is not checking their email very often, they really should be, because we don't have a physical classroom to go to anymore. So the best line of communication for teachers contacting students and students to contact teachers would be through email. 4 of 5 days will be through synchronous learning, which means that teachers will do their lessons via video platforms like Zoom or Google Meets, and these synchronous learning times will be live. Grading. For those of you who have students who are in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you may remember that we ended last year on an A through D grading scale. We are returning to the A through F grading policy, which is why it's even more important for students to stay on top of their academics, to be attending those synchronous live learning classes through Zoom and Google Meets. Again, just to reiterate, email is the best way to contact teachers and counselors since they may not be working on campus on a daily basis. When it comes to counseling meetings with students, these will be taking place during asynchronous time, which is after lunch or on Wednesdays. And the reason why we're doing this is to not take up any learning time during the regular synchronous classroom time. Synchronous classroom time is only 50 minutes per period, and that's not a lot of time. So any time missed in the classroom is going to be a lot of time missed in the classroom. So for counselor and student meetings, these will be taking place during asynchronous time when it's not interfering with synchronous learning. A few things I want to show you on our counseling website. In order to get to the counseling page, go to our Half Moon Bay High School website and click on the counseling tab right here. It will bring you to a page that looks like this. What we're doing this year, especially during remote learning, is that we are uploading our personal learning plan presentations for all 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. Also, we have an appointment link. If your student is experiencing some academic issues, they want to start exploring their college and career options, or they want some support for their social and emotional well-being, please feel free to make an appointment with a counselor through the appointment link. And finally, the virtual calming room. This is a new addition to our counseling website. The virtual calming room is a neat website where students and parents, if you would like, you can go there to watch calming videos, and there are some college and career resources on there as well for you guys to check out. So that is it for the Back to School Night presentation for the counseling department. If you have any questions, feel free to contact your counselor. Again, these are our email addresses and our direct phone line to our offices. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact your counselor. All right, thank you for watching.
Hello, parents, teachers, and students. I'm Dana Hammerstrom, your co-ASB president for the 2020 to 2021 school year.
And I'm Sarah Frankel, your other co-president for this year. We wanted to welcome everyone back by sharing our goals for the year.
Our main theme as a leadership class is keep doing good every day. So what does the acronym DOING stand for?
It stands for Dare to Care in Ways We Never Have, Offer Hope to the Half Moon Bay High School community, Inspire Others, No Problem Too Small, and Give Back. So what does this look like?
This looks like real impact on our students. We want to emphasize the ever-growing connection between our class and the student body.
This means showing up for them in the good times and the bad. This also means being dedicated to trying new things.
And we've already begun this process. Just last week, we launched a back-to-school supplies drive, which, with the help of local donors, will provide necessary school supplies to the less fortunate in our community.
We have also created the very first HMBHS leadership website, where we list upcoming events, club signups, and a new online spirit store.
Which, if you would like to check out, you can find on our Half Moon Bay High School homepage website, or by typing in tinyurl.com/HMBHS leadership.
In addition to those events, we are currently planning Virtual Club Jam, set to take place on September 23rd. Leadership will be facilitating the continuation of club meetings throughout the year as normal.
Despite the challenges we've faced this past year, our leadership class is super excited to expand on the values we've cultivated the last 4 years.
The most important thing this year is not to lose sight of the community that has always supported us, so we encourage you to reach out with any suggestions you might have this year. We're going to need to come together in times like this.
But leadership doesn't just stop when you leave campus. It lives in all of us, and we hope that this inspires you to keep doing good every day.
On behalf of the Cabrillo Education Foundation, welcome to the 2021 school year. I'm Corinne Bucher and I'm the Executive Director of CEF. I'm grateful to have a few minutes of your time to talk to you a little bit about who we are and how we fit into the funding puzzle. But before I do that, I want to give a huge shout out to your PTO and ELAC volunteers. They do so much for your site, and I wholeheartedly encourage you to get involved and volunteer. It's also incredibly important at this time that you understand there's another way that your students are supported as they go through the CUSD school system. CEF is a vital piece of that funding puzzle. CEF was founded in 2006 by community members and parents just like you. Their vision was to create a long-term, stable source of funding for the Coastside Public Schools. Today, that endowment is approximately $3 million. The CEF mission is to support and elevate education in all of the 7 Coastside Public Schools. Since 2012, we've done that by allocating more than $1 million to support teachers and students. This year, we're providing $236,000 in funding to programs that wouldn't exist without it. Our main focus is student literacy, next generation science standards, computer science, innovation, and college and career readiness. We've even expanded our innovation program to include more grants for teachers who are preparing for remote teaching. It's our goal to continue to build the endowment and create a long-term, stable source of funding for our Coastside students. Now more than ever, it's important to invest in education. We encourage you to go to our website to learn more about who we are. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Please know one thing, we are here for you. We want to hear from you. Do not hesitate to reach out. Our board wishes you and your student a very successful year. Thank you.
Hello, Cougar families. I'm Angela Bai, and I'm the president of the Half Moon Bay High School Boosters Athletics Corporation, or BAC, and also referred to as the Cougar Boosters. The Boosters support the Half Moon Bay High School Athletic Department. Part of our function is to act as a consolidated financial system for all of athletics. The main reason the Cougar Boosters were formed was to raise funds to hire a certified athletic trainer, which is a sports medicine allied healthcare professional trained in the prevention, assessment, management, and rehabilitation of athletic injuries. We are very lucky at Half Moon Bay High to have Taylor Leadheisel working full-time as our athletic trainer. Your donations are more important to us this year than ever. On an annual basis, we typically raise approximately $579,000, just enough money to cover our expenses. We raise money through membership, merchandise and snack bar sales, individual team fundraisers, voluntary donations to the athletic clearance system, gate entrance fees. This is the money that is paid to enter an event such as football or basketball, and our special event fundraisers. We typically have 2 special event fundraisers each year, the Golf Classic and the Black and Orange Ball. Together, they bring in approximately 20% of our budget. With the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, we have already had to cancel the Golf Classic, and we don't know when or if we'll be able to reschedule. In addition, the district cut about $55,000 in funding to the athletic department for this school year. This cut directly impacts the coaches' stipends. Our income and expenses are put into 3 theoretical buckets: the general fund, our gate and league and referee fees, and our team accounts. All of the money that is raised by each individual team is also spent by that team, and the boosters do not regulate how each team spends their money. As a family, you'll be asked to support boosters 3 different ways, all with the intent to enhance your student athletes' high school athletic experience. First, you will be asked to contribute to our general fund by becoming a member of the boosters. When you become a member of the boosters, that money goes into the general fund and pays for half of our athletic trainer salary. The district does pay the other half. It funds our team requests for support. That's when they need extra money for things like safety equipment, transportation for playoffs, money that they hadn't budgeted at the beginning of their season. And it also covers our operational and fundraising expenses. Next, when you register your student athlete through the athletic clearance online clearance system, you will be asked to donate $150 to help cover the league and referee fees. This donation is extremely important to help us cover league and referee or umpire fees. The district does not pay for the league or referee umpire fees, and our gate income alone does not cover this expense. The league fees include the CCS or Central Coast Section and PAL, Pacific Athletic League fees for all of our teams. And finally, each team your student athlete participates on will ask you to support them in their fundraising endeavors, either by asking for a direct donation or help with their fundraisers. We encourage you to give what you can when you can. Please visit our website for more information and feel free to contact us. Thank you.